All right, so the portfolio's now got 4 in total. What's the total portfolio value now?
3.4.
3.4 million. As a millennial, Ben,
Yep.
who's really modelling what it takes to actually get on the property ladder and continue to move along the property ladder, which is outstanding. What's the LVR currently on the portfolio?
So the whole portfolio LVR is 59.34%.
Wow.
Beautiful. And just with that commercial property, did you buy that in your individual name or did you set up
No,
a...
yeah,
Okay.
family discretionary trust.
Yeah, okay. So you've set up a trust structure for the commercial property, which
Yeah.
again, if anyone's thinking about this type of thing, the reason why potentially you can access equity in the existing portfolio, but in some respects, some lenders, so this is about investment savvy broker, um, they will look at the deal in isolation. So they may not necessarily look at the individual's interest in other assets or other debt exposures. So they like the asset base, but ultimately being able to release the equity out of the residential property, have that as a big deposit, i.e., to Bryce's point, the 35%. So you can lump that down, get a 60 to 70% loan to value ratio on the commercial property, but they're not going to take into consideration all the other debt exposure you have in your personal name. Now, again, that's not advice. And if you think, that's how I can make the next step, I encourage you to go and speak to your accountant in terms of understanding all that, understanding the risk appetite, and all of those other pieces that are associated with that. But that's exactly how, the sort of more aggressive approaches that people can take to keep moving their portfolio forward, like Adam has done. So that's a credit to you, Adam. So, you said, no, I'm really keen and interested. I built a lot of confidence in terms of, because each post up until then has been a winner. But I can tell you that in some cases, even with those great buyers agents, you've done really well in terms of them buying great properties. But if that same great buyers agent also had bought similar properties in Melbourne at the same time, those properties haven't performed as well, or similarly, in Western Australia or whatever. But now, don't say anything wrong with Melbourne. Over the decades, Melbourne's going to shine again. But it's just, if they hadn't have performed so well, the psychology of you could have been something, I'll just take my time, right? But because the wealth effect, which is the fact that, hey, I'm doing pretty well here, things are going pretty well, and I want to keep going, it's about getting that balance right in terms of that. It's also a reminder to people in terms of how much is enough, to your point, Adam, and, in terms of the way in which I see your situation. One maybe enough, right? And then off you can go, get the debt retired, and ultimately start doing that traveling. And then when you settle down, because what we also need to disclose here is you're a rent-vestor. You don't have a principal place of residence in this mix yet. And so this is going to also give you that choice about whether you divest from some of these to, buy that dream home as part of that. Do you have any thoughts around that planning in terms of what you want to do?
Yeah, it's a tricky one because I don't have any desire to own my own principal place of residence. I'm
A
quite
true
enjoy the
rent-vestor.
freedom. Yeah, quite enjoy the freedom of sort of just being able to go wherever, sort of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, it's for me now. It's sort of becoming interesting how to play. I don't have any appetite to buy more or grow this portfolio, like get in more debt and grow. Because you start doing that, is what I've sort of found is you just need to keep proving to the bank that you have more income. So it's sort of going against what I want to do in terms of working less and traveling more, sort
The
of
time
thing.
freedom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what am I trying to achieve here? Okay, yeah, sure, you can keep buying more if you show the bank that you're working more or whatever, but I don't I don't think I need more. It's more going to come down to, like you say, retiring the debt or potentially selling one or two in the future or something and make it turn it into more of a cash flow positive and being happy to sacrifice. Okay, you got a smaller portfolio or something that's not making you as much from, say, a growth point of view, but it's funding the lifestyle that you
that you want.
you want to achieve.
Hey, Adam, as we head for home, I've got two final questions for you. The first one is, how will it feel for you? Do you remember when you told us a story that your dad spoke over you, passive income, passive income? I didn't know what that, at the time, you didn't know what that was. And then mum wrote a note about financial freedom. I think you said financial freedom.
Yeah.
How will it feel for you to, like, you are going to achieve those two things? As we said at the top, you're an outlier. You're very determined. You've got a very clear focus on doing what matters. What would that feel like when you sort of really let that sink in, that those two things, financial freedom and passive income, are now going to be yours?
It's definitely very relieving, and somewhat of like a weight off your shoulders. I think the thing is that, like, I know if I was to sell a couple of properties now, I could achieve that now. But for now, like, I enjoy my work. I enjoy going to work every day. It's my choice because I know that it's furthering what I want to do, and I'm not sort of ready to just walk away from work and try and fill my days with hobbies or whatever. Yeah,
Well,
it's just
you just got lifestyle by design
Yeah.
dialed in. You get to live your terms. It's called
yeah,
personal sovereignty.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
what you want, when you want, with whom you want, whenever you want.